Fight!
Alright, so what's up guys? We are back with a new video. Basically today's video is about macro counting, and so, or if it fits your macros, which is what Jayme and I both practice. But I also wanted to talk to you guys about the difference in if it fits your macros and bro dieting, and also the difference between Jayme and I's approach. We practice the same thing, we live in the same household, but we do completely different we do it completely different ways, I guess you could say. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about that. So basically, first I wanted to define the two, if it fits your macros, and then bro dieting. So first of all, bro dieting basically essentially is like you have a set number of meals you have to eat in each day, and you have some people bro diet and they weigh it out. Some people don't. Some people just are like, oh, I gotta eat 6 or 7 meals a day. They don't necessarily count the calories in it, and they don't necessarily count like the macros in them. And so some of them do weigh out their food, some of them don't. They just know that they have to eat that meal. They might have it like eyeballed or whatever. Some people are like that. And at the end of it, mostly the only thing that changes is they start to drop their carbs normally. That's basically the major thing that happens with bro dieting. If you're prepping for a show anyway, if you're prepping for a show, that is, or prepping for any reason, going to the beach or anything like that, or a shoot. But basically, within that bro dieting, you don't really season your food. I'm sure there are, not everyone does it the exact same way. There's no like staple way to do bro dieting. But most people, they season their food very minimally, or nothing at all when they do. So it's like really bland. You eat the same thing every day, every meal. Like, I don't know, it's a really weird. You eat it like the same times and things like that. And this is kind of what I practiced during my my prep. I did eat 6 meals a day. I ate them at certain times. Every 3 hours I was eating something. It was like a certain time, and I seasoned my food very minimally. And I guess one of my bulbs was messed up, but anyway, I ate the same thing, like, or I had a set, what do you want to call it? I had a set meal for each time of the day, and so it was kind of weird. It was really weird. Did it work? Yes, it worked. I looked great. Did it work mentally? No, I hated it. So like, there's different levels. Like, there's pros and there's cons for it. The pro is like, it actually works. And probably the biggest con to me is that it sucked. Like, it really sucked, and it can get kind of expensive too. And it can be a hassle. It can be stressful, things like that. You freak out if you're like missing a meal, and then on top of that, you can't, like, it's not socially sustainable. So like you can't go out and enjoy meals with your friends or have fun with your friends, which on prep you're not going to anyway. But if you're bro dieting year round and you're trying to eat clean, like you're bro dieting, that's what you do to maintain your form, or your shape, and you're not necessarily competing for a show, you're just bro dieting. Like, you're not going to be able to do things with your friends. You're not going to be able to go to like Subway or Zoe's Kitchen or Whopper Grill or whatever it is that you have near you, Chick-fil-A. Like, as Evan Charles would say, you can't fit, would she say you can't fit chick into your everyday or something like that? I don't know, whatever. If it fits your macros is a healthy way to eat happily, I guess. And so basically it means you can eat the foods you want. It kind of eliminates the thought of having forbidden foods or bad foods that you're not allowed to eat. In a sense, there's like nothing bad you can eat. You have a set number of macros that you can hit in a day. So it's like having a bank account or something, 3 different bank accounts, protein, carbs, and fats, and you have to withdraw from each of those, and then like you only have so much you can spend from each one. And so that's basically what if it fits your macros is. You keep track of your carbs, your protein, your fat, and you have that set up either manually by you, or you have it set up by like a computer or an online coach or something like that. So the way you figure out your macros is you download an app like MyFitnessPal, or you can do it the easy way and go to a website and like bodybuilding.com or something. They may have like a calculator, and you can figure it out the easy way by doing that. But if you don't do that and you want to do it yourself, what you can do is download MyFitnessPal, and you can track what you eat, everything you eat for like, I don't know, say 3-4 days. And if you notice that you're hitting 2,000 calories every day, at that point you can say that 2,000 calories is your maintenance caloric intake. Like, you're not going up in weight, you're not losing weight, you're staying at, say you're 185, you're staying at 185, and so, or 180, whatever it is. And so that 2,000 calories is your maintenance caloric intake. And so what you can do is take away, if you're wanting to lose weight, start by taking away 250 calories. You can take that away. So you take away those 250 calories, you are left with 2,000, so you're left with 1,750. So say you have 1,750 calories to work with. And so at that point, you can justify, you can set up your protein super easy. Say you weigh 185 pounds, you set up your protein at 185 grams or 190. Generally, I wouldn't go lower than your body weight unless you're like 280 pounds. Like, you're not gonna be, unless you're a bodybuilder, you're probably not gonna wanna eat 280 grams of protein. But you would have 185 grams of protein to hit that day, or daily, 185 grams of protein. For your fat, I usually set mine around like 40%, and so, not 40%, god dang it. I usually set mine around 20%, either 15 to 20%. Some people go as high as 25 or 30%. There are splits to lose weight where you're at like 30, 40. And so that means you have 30% carbs, 30% fat, 40% protein. You just have to figure out what works for you, what works for your body. So generally I set mine around 15 to 20%. I don't get a lot of fat anyway. And so that typically for me is like 40-45 grams of fat daily. And so say you're at 1,750, you set your protein at 185 grams, your fat would probably be around 40 grams, I would say, 45 grams maybe. I'd say probably 45 grams would be about 25%, 24% of that. And then from there, once you have your protein and your fat figured out, then you just fill in the rest of those calories with carbs. It's easy. Your fat is about 20-25% of the caloric intake. Your protein is automatically a pound or a gram per pound of body weight normally, and then you just fill in your carbs. That's it. And then if you realize, and then what you can do is track that for about a week, and if you realize like nothing is really it's not really working, then play with your carbs. If you need to drop some carbs, like take away carbs and add them to your fat, or if you're feeling really tired, take away some fat and add it to your carbs. Or if you feel like it's not working overall, you feel like the numbers are right, but it's still too high in calories, then you can drop it to 300 calorie deficit. And so what that would do is, instead of being at 1,750, you would be at 1,700 calories for that day. So basically that is how to do if it fits your macros. Super easy, super simple, it's not that hard. And so moving on, there are two kinds of if it fits your macros dieters. The first one is the person who they believe in if it fits your macros and they follow it, but they still on a daily basis eat like shit. And so basically what that person is they wake up, they need to get 2,000 calories, they wake up, they eat 2 Pop-Tarts and drink a Monster, and then go to work, do whatever. The Monster isn't a big deal, I drink a Monster. But the big deal is the freaking Pop-Tart or Pop-Tarts that you're eating for your first meal, instead of eating cream of wheat, which is a good source of like a complex carb that's going to stick around and provide you with energy throughout your day. Those freaking Pop-Tarts, you're going to eat them and be energized or feel decent for like 45 minutes, and then you're going to crash at work and be drinking coffee when you already had a Monster. You're going to be like pissed off at your coworkers and things like that because you're tired. So there's that kind of person. And those kind of people struggle with the fine details of their physique because they intake so much sugar and things like that they don't even, they think they need to lose more weight, but in actuality, all they need to do to see their striations or see their abs is just cut back on the freaking sugar and replace what they're eating with whole foods. So just flip the switch and then that's it. And then the other form, or the other guy, whatever you want to call it, dieter, the version of if it fits your macros dieter, is the guy who practices if it fits your macros, but they still eat whole foods. And so they're mixing bro dieting and if it fits your macros together, which is what I do basically, and that's what Jayme does. And so what that means is in the mornings, I mean, yes, I eat whole foods. I eat eggs. Sometimes I eat cream of wheat. I'll eat Kodiak protein pancakes. I eat cod. I eat lean ground beef. I eat salmon, jasmine rice, brown rice. Jayme eats freaking Brussels sprouts, things like that. And yes, we do fit in what we want. And so like, if I'm running late or something and I didn't prepare that day like an idiot, I can grab a Subway sandwich because it'll fit, but I don't feel super guilty about it because one, I'm practicing if it fits your macros, and then two, it's not gonna sabotage my day because I've already been doing well the whole day. Like I've been doing what I needed to do, eating the way I need to eat, you know? So it's not horrible. So be smart. Pick, like, if you have the option of an apple over Skittles, pick the apple. Next, I want to explain how Jayme and I each practice if it fits your macros, because we practice these differently. Yes, we do the same thing. Yes, sometimes we eat the same foods, but we practice it different. The way I do it is I mix bro dieting and I mix if it fits your macros into a single day. What that means is I still try to eat my 5 or 6 meals a day. Are they at certain times? No, I don't flip out about that anymore. But I still do eat 5 or 6 meals because I feel like that works best for my body. Another way that I differ from a normal if it fits your macro person, maybe in a sense, is that I also practice meal timing, meaning that I usually try to eat a significant meal high in carbs right before my workout. That way I can be fueled throughout that workout. If I don't have time, or if I'm bulking, maybe I'll eat, sometimes I'll eat like candy right before that workout because I'm not worried about my carb intake at that point. Like I'm just worried about having a good workout and pushing a lot of weight at that point and making it through the whole workout. And then right after that, I don't believe in the whole hour window after you work out to eat, or 30-minute window, but I do try to eat pretty quickly after I work out, because if I don't, then I'm gonna end up going like 3 or 4 hours without eating, because generally I go back to work, so I do that. The way that Jayme does it is that she does intermittent fasting until like 1 or 2 p.m. usually, and then she tries to fit her macros in the rest of the day. She does do meal timing a little bit, but she's not as like, I guess she does. Yeah, she practices meal timing because the thing with Jayme is if she doesn't eat for a certain amount of time, she'll start like shaking and stuff. And so she does practice meal timing. So we both do that, but she does intermittent fasting. I do bro dieting mixed with it. So it's kind of weird. We do it both ways. So yeah, at that point, could I do intermittent fasting? Yes. Do I do it? Sometimes on like Saturdays or Sundays, I will fast until like noon or 1 p.m. because I'm trying to save food for later. Like if we're gonna go to the movies or if we're gonna go out and eat with our family, then yes, I will probably fast for a little while. So yeah, there's that. Next, I want to go over the benefits of if it fits your macros overall. So what this does is, like, if you do bro dieting, or if you have a coach that gives you a bro dieting plan, you're not gonna know you're not gonna know why he gave you that, and you're not gonna know how to do it on your own. Basically, you're not gonna know how to adjust it on your own or anything like that. And then on top of that, what happens is once you're done with that diet, you may like relapse, or not relapse, or you're not addicts, but you might like go into a weird state of binge eating or something like that. And that's not to say you automatically will, but you may, because you don't know how to do anything. You don't know like what to do from that point. And so what If It Fits Your Macros does is it teaches you accountability and responsibility, and it also educates you on what foods do what macro sources do what, and it teaches you how to set up your own plan. Basically, it teaches you independence essentially, and it teaches you how to learn your own body, and it forces you to learn your own body, because what works for you isn't going to work for your husband, or what works for you isn't going to work for your best friend or something like that. Like it's not going to all be the same, or your training partner. And so that it teaches you and educates you in a sense, and teaches you how to like be on your own, eat on your own. And it can also teach you how to intuitively eat. So later, what you can do is move on from if it fits your macros, or if you want to have a month where you don't want to track, or you don't want to track over the summer. At that point, you know how to intuitively eat, which means you know you can eyeball certain portions of food, and then you can you eat when you're hungry, and then you stop when you're full. Like, that's intuitively eating. So you eyeball, you eat when you're hungry, and you stop when you're done. Basically, that's intuitively eating, and that is a little more of an advanced way to do it. And sometimes I practice that way just because I've been training and doing this for a while. So it's a little easier that way. It's less stressful. If you want to start tracking your macros, you can use a calculator, like I said before, or monitor your intake, your caloric intake for 2 or 3 days, and then pull out a calculator, put in your protein, which is usually like a gram per pound of body weight, and then do 20% of those calories you had for that day. Do 20% and set up your fat that way, and then fill the rest in with your carbs, and then play with it from there. And so what that would be is your maintenance calories, and then take away 250 to 300 calories if you're trying to lose weight. If you're trying to gain weight, add 250 to 300 calories, and then just add it to your macros at that way. And so that's basically it. If you're gonna practice it, try to hit whole foods. Try to eat whole foods, and don't, I mean, yes, you can eat Chick-fil-A in your everyday and things like that, but try to make 90% of your meals whole foods. So try to eat brown rice, try to eat complex carbs, not simple carbs like white bread and Skittles. Try to eat good sources of protein, drink good sources of protein if you take whey protein, or try to do a hydrolyzed whey, which is like the best form of whey protein you can get, or try to get like a whey isolate if you have to. So yeah, that's essentially if it fits your macros. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to have more videos like this over anything, any topic, let me know in the comment section below, or if you liked it or disliked it, let me know why. And yeah, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
I went off in a 16, give me 17, want a lot, can't have everything.